Hey guys, how's it going? The Explorer 4 here. Welcome back to some more reviews. And like I said before, guys, just please be patient with me as far as videos go right now. I'm not able to do a lot of reviews because I'm already doing a lot of other reviews for October. I've been watching and filming as many Wes Craven reviews as I can. I have a few uploaded as far as they're ready to go. They're scheduled for October, so they'll drop in October. So I got some of those uploaded. I'm also just been talking about a lot of the Wes Craven films, so I haven't been able to talk about a lot of movies on the side. However, this is one that I seen today, and I really, really want to talk about it and discuss it because it surprised me. It surprised me a lot, and that is The Autopsy of Jane Doe from 2016, which I don't know why, but I always remember this movie being a 2009 movie. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the cover, the look of the movie. I don't know what it is, but I always forget it's a 2016 movie. I don't remember it coming out in 2016. I remember it coming out in 2009. The poster's a little bit similar to The Taking of Deborah Logan, and I believe that came out in at least 2014, so maybe that's what I got it mixed with. There's also a movie called Dead Girl, which I could be mistaking for this movie as well. And I think that's 2009. But I don't know why. I always thought it's a 2009 movie, but it gets a 6.8 on IMDb, which is a fair rating. It's a pretty high rating. And directed by Andre Overdahl, who I've done a review for recently on his newest film, The Voyage of the Demeter, which I thought was a great vampire movie, a great Dracula movie. I thought it was overall and all around just a great movie. And man, I got to see more of this guy's work because I was supremely surprised with this film. It was a great experience watching it. It's a fast movie, went by really, really fast. It's an hour and 28 minutes, or is it 26 minutes? Very fast movie, went by in a flash. And y'all know me. I mean, I like long movies. I do. I respect them. I mean, 2001: A Space Odyssey, The Shining, The Batman. I love long movies, but my favorite movies are the ones that just, here's the story, boom, 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 it's done, you're out, an hour and a half, and we're through with it. I like that. It's not that I don't like long movies, it's just I prefer shorter movies, and this one was very short and just went by with a great pace. And this director, like I said, I want to check out more of his stuff. Not only have I heard great things about pretty much all his movies, but they're big movies. They're movies that get a lot of praise, and they're pretty popular, and they're just movies that I've always been aware of. So I gotta check out more of his stuff. But The Autopsy of Jane Doe has a very simple story. You have a father and son who are coroners, and they receive this body of a Jane Doe. And obviously, with it being a Jane Doe, they know nothing about this body. They don't know her information. They know nothing. And the police don't know anything either. So they're pretty much relying on the coroners to figure out these missing details. And as the movie goes along, strange things start happening, and you start wondering if it's more than just a corpse. And spoiler alert, it is, but I won't get into extreme detail about it until a little bit later. But The Autopsy of Jane Doe, I think this is a great movie. Overall, I thought it was very suspenseful. Went to a lot of simple places to get its horror elements across. As far as just not relying on gore and craziness, and more of atmosphere, subtlety, and taking its time, knowing the characters, building the story, and building the suspense. And I think all those aspects are absolutely nailed in this movie. And even though it's a short movie, the runtime is a bit misleading because usually with these short run times, it's very go, go, go type of pacing. Here, it takes its time. It takes a minute for some stuff to happen. And it kind of reminded me of the pacing of Pontypool. If y'all have seen Pontypool, fabulous movie. It's on Netflix, or at least it was when I watched it. and it's an unknown movie. Nobody talks about Pontypool. I love that movie, and it's a similar pacing where it's all in one room, and at least in one house for the movie. It has this slow dread building throughout, and Pontypool did something like that, and I think it's pulled off here as well as it was in that movie. And I'm a big fan of both films, but yeah, I think Andre Overdahl does a great job at shooting this movie. Simple cinematography, but it works very well. I think the lighting, and it's a good-looking movie overall. The acting, I like the two leads. Brian Cox, you got Emil Hirsch, and I wonder who played the Jane Doe character. It says, was that Owen Catherine Kelly as Jane Doe? I guess they actually, wow, I didn't know they actually had an actress there for most of the movie. I mean, I was assuming maybe a few shots here and there were of the act, but a lot of the movie I think was filmed with the actress there. So, I mean, props. I mean, she made a dead body intimidating, so you know that's pulled off, and the director did too. They made a dead body. I don't think I've ever seen that. I really can't think of a film where the actors, the directors, or the director rather, and the performances convinced me that a dead body is intimidating, and this movie did it. The threat of this movie is the corpse of Jane Doe, and I guess I could give a spoiler alert here. If you haven't seen the Autopsy of Jane Doe, go check it out. It's a good movie, but yeah, when you start finding out that, you know, the twist of the movie, I guess you could say the big reveal is that she's the corpse of a witch who was wrongfully killed and is now going to be having her own ritual where she's going to be going from place to place claiming soul to soul and assumingly trying to regenerate herself. Eventually because she almost does regenerate herself, but the process is stopped by one of the coroners. And it's very creative. It's very different. And with the title and the plot, it was one of those movies where I was like, how are they going to pull this off? Like, it's a whole movie about an autopsy in one room with two characters. And really, it could have been a recipe for disaster. It really could have. It was a big risk doing that. But they got some great actors here that I thought did, you know, wonderful jobs. You know, passable, not even passable, really solid jobs. And, yeah, just the subtle, creepy moments, the usage of a lot of shadows and ghost-like figures. You kind of have zombies in this movie in a way. Kind of not, but kind of do, I guess, where she's making the bodies kind of wander around. I like the idea that back in the olden days, they'd put these bells on the foot of the dead. And they did that just in case somebody got shut in there by accident and they weren't dead yet. And so you hear the bell ringing. Kind of like the Nun, where they put the bells by the graves. And if you hear the bell ringing, they're not dead. It is kind of a creepy idea, and it leads to some pretty good suspenseful moments in the movie. And I like how it really focuses on that, on suspense. And it does a rare thing, you know, that people really don't do a lot with horror films anymore, and that's taking its time, not super reliant on jump scares either, just maybe a few here and there. It's much more about the creepiness of the visuals, the creepiness of the subject of death, and how some people are used to, you know, working with these dead bodies like these coroners are, but when one of the coroner's girlfriend comes in, she's not used to seeing the dead bodies like that. And it's also, the end of the movie is haunting because it's a downbeat ending, but it doesn't bother me. Downbeat endings, to me, if they're pulled off right, I mean, I guess in any instance, if it's pulled off right, it works. But some movies, they just have a downbeat ending just to have it. And then there's some movies that do a build. They build up like there's going to be a good ending, and they just go, no, bad ending. And I'm like, oh, come on. But this one, it worked. It was a bit haunting. how the final surviving coroner, the son character, is the last one left, and he thinks he's going to be able to escape, but he realizes it was the witch playing games with him, and he ends up dying, falling to his death. And I didn't see that coming. I really didn't, because you look at this character, it's like, okay, this is like the young dude, you know, he's probably gonna survive, you know, make it to the next movie. No, he dies at the end of this movie, and that was crazy. I didn't see that coming. And I also like how we spend so much time with that character, and then when the death happens, we don't spend a whole lot of time with the police officers or the one in particular that brought the body to them, but we do see a little bit of shots of him looking at the dead body. And it is kind of haunting because, you know, when you're dead, your story ends, and that's it. And in the movie, that character's story ended, and now it kind of shifted over to this next character. And I mean, it's not like it's brand new. Tons of movies have done it, and tons of movies are going to keep doing it. But it's haunting, and I like that in movies where you'll start with the character, they'll die, and it'll carry on. Because, like, you could use it as a metaphor that life carries on too. Like, after you die, it ain't like life just stops. It's like it carries on. The story goes, keeps going forever and ever. And so with the subject of death in this movie and them being coroners, it matches the movie. And I thought that was a haunting way to end it, where this Jane Doe corpse is being carried off to the next coroner office, is going to do this all over again until she gets revived. And yeah, I mean, I absolutely love this movie. It's 4 out of 5 for me. I can't really think of too many negatives about it. There's nitpicks, and I mean the tiniest nitpicks, like maybe some CGI here and there. But I really don't care. Like, to me, if it's a little bit of CGI, and honestly, effects don't make or break a movie for me. I've seen amazing looking films that I think aren't that good. And then I've seen movies that look like garbage that are amazing. So to me, the effects and the look of the movies don't really affect how I view the film. But yeah, there was some CGI here and there. But yeah, I think it's a solid movie, 4 out of 5 for me. And I think overall, The Autopsy of Jane Doe is definitely a good film. I definitely give it a thumbs up. But anyways, y'all, if you've seen this movie, comment down below your guys' thoughts on this film. And if you guys are curious about my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, my Letterboxd, all that is in the description box below. Anyways, y'all, that's going to do it. So I'll be seeing you guys later. The Explorer 4 is out. I'm going to try and film some more stuff tonight and see what I can get done here. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, and the Explorer 4 is out. Peace.